Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hi, everyone. I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Astrology is the eternal, indestructible superpower of the cosmos. And if you're looking for the force and freedom to make your own choices in life, to live the life that you want to live, then you've come to the right place. All you have to do is look up and look within. As above, so below. This is our astrology. Happy New Year, everyone, for Sunday, January 1st through Saturday, January 7th, 2023. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week and new year ahead. Now, we're starting off the year, January 1st, with Venus at the ending degrees of Capricorn. Venus is getting ready to change signs. Now, when Venus is at the end of Capricorn, this is taking a very realistic Capricorn look and assessment of what are the results you're getting in your relationship. After a planet has been in a sign for a long time, there's a sense of, I've got to get this right because it's now coming to closure and I'm getting ready to make a huge change. This is Venus. And so Capricorn, which is cardinal earth and very realistic, no fool. Also, Capricorn is wisdom in the sense of the choices you make today, what will be the potential results long into the future. So Capricorn doesn't just think short term. Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, is looking at the success, the results, the power, because Capricorn goes to the top of the mountain, the power or lack thereof in your relationship. Venus is going to change signs tomorrow and go into Aquarius. I'll get to that in a moment. But as we start off the year and people have intentions and dreams and things they want to do for the new year, this theme today is what are the relationships in your life, not just the primary marriage partner relationship, but what is the realistic look of all the relationships in your life. Relationships, as you know, they can either elevate you or a bad relationship does have the potential to take you down. Now, the person you're involved with in all of the relationships in your life, who are they involved with? Who are their family? Who are their friends? Everything we know now is energy, and we either feel good and get more energy that supports us, or the potential is draining energy, sad energy, energy that brings us down and depletes us of vitality. I just did a reading like that today, earlier in the day, where the female client is putting up with someone that continuously depletes them, deflates them, brings them down. Now, Capricorn and Saturn is time and can cut things away. So the Venus wrapping up in Capricorn would say there has to be a time cap on this relationship where things have to change or it's not going to work. Capricorn is all about the success and achieving goals and wants that as much in their partnership as with everything else in their life. And of course, we all want a great relationship. But the Venus in Capricorn nearing its end and getting ready to change signs tomorrow is the cosmic energy of taking a look at how your relationships are. Primarily the marriage, the partnership. Is it successful or not? That's the way a Venus in Capricorn would say about the relationship. Is this successful or not? Is this a winning relationship? Is this relationship going to the top, going places? All of the things that Capricorn is about. Now, along with that, we're starting off January 1st with the moon exalted in Taurus. which is ruled by Venus. Moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, just needs so much love. The moon exalted in Taurus has a great desire for love, romance, attention, to be close. Taurus is fixed earth. So the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, is wanting the kind of love that is enduring, that stands the test of time. This is all fixed earth Taurus, that goes the distance, that is true. Also, Taurus is about security, safety, not letting you down. So with Venus getting ready to change signs tomorrow, and the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, today, January 1st, one of the things to take a look at or feel into, because the moon is all about instinct and feeling. It's not analytical. It's how you feel and your instincts. The moon exalted in Taurus, as we start off the new year, is the feeling of, do I feel safe in this relationship? Does this relationship make you feel like the bottom's going to drop out any moment? Or does your relationship make you feel, yeah, it's secure? I feel like that person wouldn't let me down. Because Taurus is true. It's fixed earth. Also, the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, is beauty, because it's Venus ruled. So having the relationship you want, where you're truly attracted to the person and how they look, that's Venus. That's the moon in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Am I truly attracted in the physical sense? Because Taurus is all the sensations. It's earth. It's all the sensations about the beauty, the attractiveness of the other person. Venus is the law of attraction. When we feel good, when we're happy, when we have joy, it attracts in beautiful things. Venus is about what pleases you. There are certain things and certain people that they just please you. Pleasure, that's Venus, the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Is this pleasing? Does this give me pleasure? So making the assessment of so many things about the relationship. Is it happy? Is it harmonious? Is it peaceful for the most part? Am I attracted to that person? I can't tell you how many times with clients, they're not attracted to the partner, yet they put up with it. So assessing these things about the happiness and joy and the pleasure that you give in a relationship, because it works both ways, it's partnership. The pleasure you give in a relationship, also the pleasure that you receive in a relationship, is just so important as we're starting off the year, and always. Now, the other thing about the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, as we are assessing the relationships on this New Year's Day, the other thing about the moon exalted in Taurus is that the moon in Taurus has an over-the-top desire that if it isn't fulfilled, meaning the moon is how we feed ourselves. And when the moon is filled up, that feeling of contentment, happiness, and most importantly, relaxation. Because if the moon isn't fulfilled or filled up or fed, I always say feed your moon. I've been saying that for years. If the moon isn't fed, then a nervousness, an anxiety, a high-strung kind of a quality, because the moon is hungry. It's not getting what it wants. So any of the moon signs, or think of a baby, that's the moon. If and when they're hungry and need to be fed, that anxiety and fear that they won't be fulfilled, you won't be loved. That's a big part of this moon exalted in Taurus. The moon exalted in Taurus can be so generous and so giving, but if they aren't receiving as well, if they don't feel loved, if they're not feeding their moon, which is they want to be loved above all else. The moon shines in the darkness. It's the subconscious programming. The sun is the light. We see it. We're aware of it. But the moon, which shines in the nighttime, in the darkness, the moon exalted in Taurus, really needs and wants love above all else. If that isn't fulfilled, and the moon exalted, those are big shoes to try to fill, because exalted is over the top. Anyway, if the moon exalted in Taurus is not fulfilled, then it can be in the other direction, where a moon exalted in Taurus can be quite nervous and have fears that don't make sense, that bubble up, and anxiety. So as I always say, feed your moon no matter what moon sign you are. And as we are starting off New Year's Day in the year, the theme is definitely love from a cosmic energy point of view, which is making an assessment of all the relationships in your life. That's the Venus getting ready to change signs. And the moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus on this New Year's Day. For Monday, January 2nd, we do have Venus now changing signs. Venus is moving into fixed air Aquarius. Now, fixed air Aquarius and Venus in fixed air Aquarius. Venus in Aquarius doesn't discriminate. Venus in Aquarius loves everybody. Venus in Aquarius is friendship. It's the love for all different kinds of people, all different kinds of relationships. And it doesn't judge or discriminate. Now, Venus in Aquarius wants friendship in a relationship. Venus in Aquarius wants a meeting of the mind, positive communication. Air, all of the air signs, the element of air is very light and very attuned to sound vibration. So if the conversation is always heavy, negative emotions, too deep, too much, too honey, we need to talk, like that kind of thing all of the time, that does not please a Venus in Aquarius. People tend to love Venus in Aquarius because Venus in Aquarius doesn't try to control anybody. They just want to be free and independent and have the ability to change and move around. This is Venus in Aquarius. With Venus in Aquarius, one of the key words for Venus in Aquarius is space. All of the air signs, Venus in Aquarius, they need their space. They've got to move and feel free. This is a perfect description, or one of them, for Venus in Aquarius. This is by Khalil Gibran. This is Venus in Aquarius right here. Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but not eat from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. We need to give each other space to grow. And this is Venus in Aquarius, no matter where your Venus placement is in your birth chart. These collective cosmic energies and powers, they speak to all of us. And astrology, one of the things that astrology is a great big cosmic clock, we could say, in the sky. So when Venus is in Aquarius, it's basically showing or guiding the cosmic energy of lighten up, have some fun. It ain't that deep all the time. And most importantly, no matter how close you are, give each other space, because that's the only way to grow. And I hear this so often in readings that if someone doesn't text back right away or call right away, and with Venus in Aquarius, they're definitely not going to call back right away, because Venus in Aquarius, Aquarius will not be restricted and controlled. But if someone doesn't get back to you right away, because this is a major issue, how do I know? I hear it every day in readings. That if the other person is often needs some space for whatever reason, everyone needs some space at times. And especially Aquarius, they're off with their friends that love them so much, because Aquarius doesn't try to control them at all. They just let them be their own unique self. If you do that, you'll never be lacking for friends. Anyway, because Venus in Aquarius is basically saying to all of us, just give each other space. Don't try to restrict and suffocate and control. It's not that heavy and deep all of the time. And I think we need this right now, because after the past few years, the feeling also with Venus, the Queen of Heaven, is that things are going to lighten up. And the people, because Aquarius is the people are so hungry for that right now. So this is our entry into the Venus in Aquarius. Give each other space, friendship partner, marriage partner, whatever it is. Tuesday, January 3rd, another beautiful air element. We have the moon in Gemini. Gemini is mutable air. Now, talk about the need to move and change and shapeshift and do different things. Moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is that constant need that Gemini has to learn new things, to be intellectually stimulated, to be able, like all the air signs, to feel free, to learn, to grow, to travel, even if it's short trips. Go somewhere new. You could be within your own city. Like here in Los Angeles, you can never explore everything. It's so vast. And things do change here all the time. But wherever it is that you may live, if you just pick a new place in your town that you've never been to before, and you look at it as if, going on a new adventure, a new place, talk to new neighbors, do that with the moon in Gemini. It shifts up, it changes and lightens up the energy. And it goes along beautifully with Venus now in Aquarius. Moon in Gemini, making an air trine flow to Venus in Aquarius. So beautiful, so romantic, and the love talk and poetry is just on another level that is really pleasurable and pleasing. This is happy communication when we take a look at the moon in Gemini, making an air trine flow to Venus in Aquarius. Also, the moon in Gemini makes a sextile aspect to Jupiter now in Aries. Aries is your sense of identity. It's your look, it's fashion, it's definitely hair. Aries rules over the head. And so the moon sextile Jupiter in Aries is the wanting a different look, perhaps, changing your hair color, your fashion, that kind of thing. It's the desire to change it up in the area of your image, Jupiter in Aries. That's a really nice aspect we're having as well. January 3rd, we also have the moon in Gemini making a sextile aspect to Chiron in Aries. So the moon wants to feel really good. Remember, we feed our moon no matter what. And the moon in Gemini is the mind and thinking. Thoughts are things, what we say to ourselves, well, how we communicate. And the moon in Gemini making that sextile to Chiron in Aries is creating a new identity. Chiron, the wounded healer, healing any issues about image, appearance, body issues, all of that. And saying the things, reprogramming your mind to heal the Chiron in Aries, your sense of self and identity, and how you talk to yourself and reprogram your mind as far as how you feel about your looks. A few years back, I had a client come in, beautiful young lady, 21 years old. I suggested, for a variety of different reasons, that she take a dance class. And it was heartbreaking to hear her say, I can't take a dance class because I can't look at myself in the mirror. My mom always told me I'm fat and ugly and this kind of thing. So she couldn't look at herself in the mirror. Here I am looking at this beautiful young lady and hearing that she can't look at her own appearance. Now, I'm using this story because with the moon in Gemini making a sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, which is the appearance and the identity, tell yourself, change the programming. Tell yourself, you're beautiful. You have your own beauty. The more you tell yourself, I am how you want to look, fill in the blank, I am beautiful, whatever the words are, changing that subconscious programming, it will change the appearance. It will change when the way you speak to yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but remember, the first rule of learning is repetition. You say it over and over and over again. It's not like, okay, I said it one time, but I still see myself the same way. It doesn't work that way. You have to repeat it over and over again, because that's how you learned the programming in the first place. For years, it was said to you, or for this young lady, this beautiful young client, for years it was said to her, repeated, that she was fat and couldn't look in the mirror to take a dance class because of it. So you've got to repeat like a mantra every day. I am beautiful. Whatever beauty means for you, you have to repeat it. January 4th, Venus in Aquarius makes a sextile aspect to Jupiter in Aries. Now, Venus in Aquarius, we covered that. Jupiter in Aries is bold. It's doing something new. It's trailblazing. It's putting it all out there. This combination of air and fire is very exciting. It's very alive. It's very illuminating. The air feeds the flames of the fire, the Jupiter in Aries. We're looking at what are called the greater and lesser benefics, the two goodies of the zodiac, Venus and Jupiter in harmony, feeding each other, encouraging each other, air and fire, to have, do, see all of the abundance and beauty that is around us all the time. I know the other stuff goes on as well. And I'm not trying to imply don't stay informed with what's going on around in the world, but you have the choice to see the abundance, the glass half full, or the lack, and seeing is the glass half empty. Venus and Jupiter, the two goodies that want to give. Also, Venus and Jupiter, that's luck. It's just feeling lucky. It's feeling blessed. So the choice is yours, but this Venus and Jupiter, so favorably placed, sees the glass half full, sees the abundance. Venus in Aquarius making a sextile to Jupiter in Aries. Not only does that combination see the glass and the abundance as half full, it sees all the joy of the future yet to come. That's a nice aspect that we have right there. January 5th, Thursday, Jupiter's day. The moon goes home to her domicile and enters cardinal water Cancer. Now, when the moon goes home, her home sign, her domicile, this is a component in astrology that may make you uncomfortable at first until you do it and get used to it. Remember, Cancer is cardinal water. It wants to get something started. It initiates, it leads. Moon at home in Cancer is about you making yourself happy first. Yes, I said that. My clients hate that. They're not comfortable with that. Put myself first, make myself happy first. Yes, that's what the astrology is saying. That is the cosmic energy superpower from the universe, the cosmos. Moon at home in Cancer. You make yourself happy first. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. The moon is the baby. The moon is also the nurturing mother. When babies watch and imitate, not just the behavior and the accent and the language and all of that. When a baby watches and imitates, a baby watches and imitates the emotions. So if the caretaker is happy, the baby imitates that and learns to be happy, to make itself happy. If the caretaker fulfills the need of the child, the infant, the baby, of course, feels good. My needs will be met. I don't have to be afraid and anxious. My needs will be met. If the moon in Cancer with the caretaker, if the caretaker loves the baby, shows love, then the baby imitates that feeling, that emotion, and learns, I love me. My happiness comes first. With the moon going home to Cancer and ushering in a new season, to get to the place where no matter what the cost, you make yourself happy first. Do that. If you're not there already, you get into touch with, you feel into, what does my body want? What does it need? What makes it happy? Emotionally. I'm not saying overindulge in all kinds of things that aren't ultimately good for you. I'm not implying that. But emotionally, what makes you happy and makes you feel good in your body? Again, I used an earlier example of a client I know where the boyfriend she's dating is continuously bringing her down, make her feel sad. A moon in Cancer would maybe put up with that once or twice before it's over. I'm not happy in this relationship. It's ending. It's either going to change or end. How difficult it is, at least from what I hear, for people struggling with that. They feel responsible for the other person. They don't want to disappoint the other person. The person is dependent or weak in some way. And they don't put their happiness first. The moon in Cancer, the moon is instinctual. It doesn't have to think about it. If you know a moon in Cancer or have the moon in Cancer, it's not even an analyzation. It's just an instinct. Of course, I put my needs first. I'm not happy. I love when I hear people say, not only am I not happy, I'm going to do something about it. And the moon in Cancer does. There would have to be so many modifying factors in a birth chart that would mitigate, modify the moon in Cancer saying, of course, I make myself happy first, because that's the programming. Whereas we're talking about the programming that kept getting repeated with how you talk to yourself, moon in Gemini ruled by Mercury, making those aspects that have to do with how you see yourself. And the beautiful young lady that couldn't look in the mirror, but she'll get there, trust me. The moon in Cancer, which is instinct, doesn't even have to be processed or analyzed. The programming is, of course, I make myself happy first. Friday, Venus's day, the full moon at 16 degrees Cancer. So the beautiful moon illuminated by the sun in her home sign, which is shining the light on how you truly see yourself. The moon is a mirror. It reflects back to us the true self-image. When all the phony baloney masks come off, how you see yourself. Your noontime conversation is very different with yourself than your middle of the night conversation when it's dark and the moon comes out. Very different conversations for most people until they get it in sync. But this moon at home in Cancer is how you truly see yourself, your true self-image, in the sense of self-esteem and self-worth, and the feeling of seeing yourself happy, loved, and content. You've got to see yourself worthy of having those beautiful things. If not, The moon being the subconscious, the things that hides in the shadow in the night. This full moon in Cancer illuminates that back to us. Also, this 16 degrees full moon in Cancer is the second decanate, which brings in a Scorpio component. And that's not only about the ending of things that need to go. It's also because the moon in Scorpio is in her fall. That's a mean mother. So the second decanate of this full moon in Cancer is shining a light on what kind of mom caretaker you had and how you were treated in that first so important primary relationship. Now, also with this full moon in Cancer on Friday, January 6th, we have the full moon making an opposition to Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. So the moon is illuminating and shining a light on Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, which is how tough are you on yourself about success in particular, meaning the status and success in the world. Well, you haven't made $1 billion yet or something. How tough are you on yourself because of the way, again, that you speak to yourself and put so much pressure on yourself for what you have programmed to believe about status in Capricorn things, the world. So taking a look at that, because the light, the full moon light, is shining on that. And the beauty of a retrograde is I can go back and redo it. I can reassess that. I can reprogram those old tapes that with the Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, with the full moon shining on that, the feeling of, or the false belief, oh, you're a loser because you haven't accomplished such and such by whatever time limit, because Capricorn and Saturn has to do with time. Change that. On Saturday, January 7th, 2023, I'm trying to get used to saying that. So far, I don't think I've messed up yet. On Saturday, the weekend, the moon enters fixed fire Leo. And how beautiful is this? The moon in Leo makes a trine, a fire trine flow to Jupiter in Aries. Now, those aspects there are, if you're throwing a party, going to a celebration, having a party, that's just so much fun. Leos always have the big kid in them. They never lose that. And so the moon in Leo with that Jupiter in Aries is exciting, adventuresome. Let's go for it. This fire trine flow. Oh, how I love this. Enjoy this. Not just have fun, but deeper than that. The moon in Leo trine Jupiter in Aries is a deep joy. It's that being present and really relishing and enjoying the people that you love, whatever it is that you're doing. It doesn't have to be a party, but it's just a great sense of deep joy just to be alive, because fire is life. So enjoy that as we close out the first week of 2023. And the theme this week is, for me, the cosmic superpower is all about the love for yourself, the happiness, love, and enjoyment in relationships. And of course, this beautiful full moon at home in Cancer. I hope the skies are clear. The rain, the storms have been record-breaking. Here in California, earthquake up north in San Francisco, earthquake today down in Los Angeles, freeways closed, the rain, the storms. So wherever you are, if the skies are clear, enjoy the full moon in Cancer. Even if you can't see it, know that the full moon in Cancer is in your heart. Feel it in your heart, even if the sky isn't visible. And tell yourself how wonderful and how much you love yourself and how your happiness and joy is essential. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Happy New Year. Thank you.